Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Saltsus, and I recorded a video. I realized it was so bad that I am redoing it. Before we begin, we need to make some changes. So go to your VM directory, and you want to open this file. I don't know what it is on VirtualBox. It might be the same thing, but so we need to open it. I'm just going to edit it with Notepad. And I'm going to type this in, mks dot no beep equals true. Oops. Sorry, it's all capitalized. And I'm going to save it. Now let's start up our VM and see if it beeps at me. Very loud beep, by the way. Hurt my ears. It's a common issue, apparently, with people that use VMs and they'll watch videos. And, yeah, I'm not hearing any beeps. Okay, let's log in. So let's use our regular user account, not a root one. And I'm going to spam the backspace key. I don't hear any noise. Wonderful. We did it. Now we can begin. So, where am I? Good question. I can type PWD, present working directory. I'm in home, Andrew. Now, if you recall, in the last episode, I made a user account named Andrew, which is me. Normally, when you log into a Linux machine, you're put in whatever user account you log into's home directory. 99% of the time, that's going to be /home/name of the username. There may be cases where that's not the case, and it's not in the /home directory. That's fine. We're here, though. Cool. Do I have any files in my home directory? I can do that with ls list. No. What if I do... Now, what if I want to learn more about the ls command? Well, I can type man. And say, what manual page do you want? Man is short for manual. So I'm going to type man. And, oh, cool. This is an interface to the system reference manuals. That is incredibly important. We can hit enter to scroll through, read about it. I recommend you read this. This is important. But we can quit it for now. Okay, well, and I'm going to type clear. That clears your screen. Okay, well, let's do man ls. This lists directory contents. Excellent. Oh, this first one looks kind of cool. ls with the a switch. So that dash, the I I'm just so we understand going forward. Anytime I say switch, I mean like that command, like dash something. But okay, what is this? Do not ignore entries starting with dot. We have to do the a switch. Okay, let's try ls dash a. Whoa, what's all this stuff? Huh, doesn't show up with normal ls. Well, ls-a, to make it equivalent, in Windows, doing ls-a is the equivalent of showing hidden files. That's all it is. Now, generally, what I've found is anything in your home directory that's a configuration file, like .profile or .bash history. Well, bash history is just literally history of your commands, but anything that's a dot file and is hidden, you really want to pay attention to. If you edit it, you can break things. Like if I just type .profile, sorry, if I just type .profile and look at it, now a lot of times these will tell you what they are in the comments. This is our bash profile. I don't want to mess with this. So you want to be careful. I mean, or when you're starting out until you really know what you're doing. Or if I do, let's say if I do bash history. Oh, huh. Yeah, it's our bash history, all the commands I've entered. Okay, that's actually weird. Should be all the commands I entered. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Okay, cool. So, for all intents and purposes, we have nothing in our home directory besides some hidden files that we don't have to worry about right now. I want a folder, though. How do I do that? Well, we use the make directory command. We do mkdir space name your directory. I'm going to call it Linux 101. Hit enter. We do an ls. We see Linux 101. Oh, it's blue. What's that mean? Well, blue normally means something's a directory. This is dependent on the system, though. Sometimes it can change, but I want to say Debian by default follows some pretty good standards. So for all intents and purposes, on a Debian system, you see blue, it's a directory. But hey, we made a directory. Can I add a file to it? So to make a file, we're going to do touch. And let me just tell you what touch does. What? Oh. Okay, well, I'm learning something new today. If you give me a moment. Okay, well, pretty much touch creates a file, an empty file. So we're going to say touch first. We do ls. Look, we have first, but wait. Why didn't that go in the folder I created? Well, if we do present working directory, we're still in home Andrew. Oh. So we can move it in there with the move command. We can also just create another file. So we're going to do touch. We're going to do the directory. I'm going to start typing it, and then I'm going to hit the tab key. That's going to do something known as bash completion. And it's going to select the Linux 101 directory, and then I'm going to name it. And notice that no spaces here. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to do an ls Linux 101 with the little slash. Hit enter. So we have our first file and we have our second file. And the second file is in our Linux 101 directory. Cool. Excellent. I want to move that first file into the Linux 101 directory though, because I don't like random files sitting out in my home directory. It's like having random documents on your desktop, right? It doesn't look that cool. So we need to use the move command, which is mv. But let's read about it. Okay, a lot of useful options here. Main takeaway is for move, we have the source first and then the directory. Okay. So I'm going to move first into my Linux 101 directory. We moved it. Ah, it's not in my home directory. It's all nice and neat. Now let's change directories into Linux 101. We can work in there. So I'm going to type cd, which is change directory, space, type out our directory, lin, Linux. So it should be short for Linux 101. Hit tab. It completes it correctly. I can see that. I hit enter. Do an ls again. Yep. Okay. We got first and second. Let's create a third file, but let's actually add text to it. Now, I'm going to make an entire episode on some of the text editors I use. I use Vim a lot. Vim is not installed by default in Debian. Really easy text editor to use, Nano. So we're going to say Nano third. So what this is going to do is it's going to open the text editor and it's going to create a blank file called third. Hit enter. We have our blank file and we're running GNU Nano 5.4. That's the editor. And we can see at the top of the screen, about the middle of the screen, we see third. That's the file we have open. Okay. So to start typing in Nano, you don't have to go into any modes or press any shortcut keys or anything. You can just start typing. So I'm going to say this is my third file created for my Linux 101 class. Do space, do some fanciness. Okay. Cool. Oh, wait, I'm going to do a little sign off here. Right? We're all still in this editor. We can just type. How do I save it? Right? We notice at the bottom of the screen, we have help. Well, I definitely want to go to help. We have write out. I believe that's short for write output. We have some text editing things like replace, cut, paste, justify. Go to lines. I need help. I don't know how to save this. Oh, okay. Okay, well, this is really cool. I may actually turn this into a cheat sheet at a later date. So anyone watching this can just kind of print this out instead of having to always navigate to this. That's neat. Although it's not that hard to navigate to this. I just want to figure out how to save. I know how to save, but I'm doing this for your sake. Okay, well, so to save, we have two options. One is just a save. One is, I guess, essentially a save and quit. We can do the control key and X. That'll close the current buffer and start the process of exiting Nano. And it'll ask us if we want to write to the current buffer and save it. Well, I mean, if I don't want to quit though, I just want to continue working, right? Like I'm not done with the file. I can do Control O, which will essentially write to the file. Or we can do F2 to do the equivalent of Control X, or F3 to do the equivalent of Control O. Okay, let's get out of this. We do Control X to exit the help menu. And I did not actually realize that you could do Control O. So let's do that. Name to write. Now we already created a file, so we don't want to make any modification. I'm just going to hit third. Wrote 5 lines. Is that correct? We can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it counts spaces, doesn't it? So I just hit the space key. I'm going to hit Control O again. Oh, wrote 6 lines. Yeah. I'm going to say Nano is a pretty cool program. This time, though, I'm done. We'll add some exclamation points. This time I'm done, though, right? I want to save and quit. So I'm going to hit Control X. And do we want to save the modified buffer? The answer is yes. So we hit the Y key. And the file name to write, I just want to overwrite the file that I've been working on. We can name it something else, though, if we want to. Okay. We're not going to do that, though. We're just going to overwrite it. I'm going to hit Enter. Hit LS. How can I view this? I guess we can open up Nano, right? But what if well, cat walked across my keyboard, right? I'm just doing numeric twiddling here, right? Now, we don't have to, we can just backspace whatever happens, we don't even have to save it. We can just do Control X, hit no, right? We can go back into it. Still the same thing, okay? I mean, you can view files like this for really short things and things you create, you want to edit, yeah, sure. I mean, there's a slightly better way to view files though in Linux. Excuse me. Especially on the command line. It's called cat. And it's not the fluffy friend we all know and love as the kitty. But cat is concatenate. It'll essentially concatenate files and print on the standard output. The standard output being your computer screen. Okay. So you can read. There's a lot of things to do. You can do with cat. I may have in the future just little short, 10, 15-minute videos, and I go through each command and each little switch here and how to use them. But you can do it too. You may not understand all of this. I certainly don't, right? You're never an expert. That's why you got the man pages. Okay, let's concatenate third. So I'm going to type cat, and I'm just going to type out the file. It's short. If I was lazy, I could do, I can literally just type in cat T, press the tab key, it'll autocomplete to third, hit enter. There's my file. This is my third file. Ah, okay, cool. All right, well, let's make another file. Let's call it, third with an, let's just call it third, but I accidentally put two D's in it. So, third with a D at the end. This is my, I'm just going to say, this is my third file. So this third with two D's. Right, we're going to save it. Okay. So we have third and we have third. I know this sounds confusing. Bear with me. I just want to show a cool thing with concatenate. Let's concatenate the third. So I'm going to type T. I'm going to hit bash completion. Oh, okay. So it shows the first one. That's not the one I want though. If you hit it, let me clear this. Let me display that again. So I type T, right? Cat T. Hit tab. It displays third, but I want the one with two D's. I know it exists in this folder. I'm going to hit tab again. I'm going to hit it a second time. I don't know why it took two there. Now it's going to display all files that match in the present directory. So I'm going to just hit the D again because that's the one I want to see. I'm just going to hit tab so it gives me a space, or you can just do a space. You can just hit your space bar. That's fine too. Cool. I'm kind of an idiot though here, right? I just want to combine these files into the into third. Well, there's several ways we can do that. I'm going to show you a way that I just use. There may be a smarter way. There may be comments telling me, hey, Andrew, there's a better way to do this. That's great. Share it, please. Because, part of Linux is learning all about it. And, I mean, yeah. So I'm going to concatenate third. I'm going to do a space. I'm also going to concatenate phase. Now, we can actually just enter this as is. It shows both files. Cool. Let's add them together. So we're going to do the greater than sign. And I'm going to say third new. Oh, we got a new one. Let's view it. We just added all that text to one file. Look at that. I don't really care about any of these except for my first, second, and third file. Let's remove the third with two D's and the third new though. So we're going to type rm. Actually, I'm going to open the manual page. rm. Remove files or directories. Be very careful with this command. Anytime you see a tutorial online, if it says to run something like sudo rm-rf and then like the backspace key, I'm not gonna, do not enter this. But if you ever see a command that says this on whatever forum post or web page you're on, I want you to just remove that from your bookmarks, forget it even exists. Do not run this command, okay? But because that'll essentially destroy your system and you'll have to remake it. Or run it. I mean, it's a VM. But I just warned you, so don't. But we want to remove two files. So I'm going to type rm space, the name of the file. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to do the space key again and type the name of the second file. Hit enter. Do an ls. They're gone. We just have first, second, third. Oh no. Okay. Now, let me get back to my home directory because as you recall, we can do present working directory. And actually, let me break this down a little bit for you. We see the prompt here where the cursor is. We see that I'm on Andrew at, so user account at on. Then we see Debian VM 101, which is our virtual machine name. Whatever you named it should show up here. We see the colon key. Then we see that little tilde. Then a /, Linux 101, and then a $sign. What does all that mean? Well, as I just said, we can explain this. So the tilde is shortening things, right? Because if we type present working directory, we have home Andrew Linux 101. In this case, we have, when we look at the prompt, we have tilde / Andrew 101, or sorry, tilde / Linux 101, right? The tilde means your home directory. We are in the home directory right now. It's not, we're in a folder in the home directory right now, I should say. It's not going to display all that. That's fine. I mean, you can type present working directory to see where you are. You can use the clues from the prompt to see where you are. Whatever works for you. I use both. Like, I just have, momentary lapses of judgment. I'm like, where am I again? I know what the tilde key means. Oh, that's right. I'm in my home directory, right? We need to go home, though. So we can type cd, change directory, and there's several ways we can do this. We can do this. Do home Andrew. We're home. That's one way. Now, let's navigate back into Linux 101 directory. There's a couple other ways. We can type cd and just put in the tilde key. Hit enter. We're home again. Let's go back into Linux. Another way. A very common way that you will see. We can do cd dot. I'm sorry. We can do cd dot dot. What did that just do? That just moved us up one level. Okay. Let me show that again. So I'm going to go back into Linux 101, right? Let me stop doing that. Let me do present working directory. And we're going to do cd dot dot present working directory. We're in home Andrew. Cd dot dot again, present working directory. We're in /home. Cd dot dot again. This looks scary. Do not worry. We're in the root directory. Well, let's get home. Let's just do cd tilde. Boom. We're home again. It's really not that hard to navigate around using the command line in Linux. It's not that hard to manipulate files. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Okay. A lot of cool things you can do. As time progresses, I will show you more ways, right? I mean, you can even do math in your terminal. What is 2 plus 2? What is 8? Let's see, actually. I'm so sorry. I was thinking of something else. No, ignore that. You can do math in your terminal, but not with the default install. I want to say, yeah. That's fine. Ignore that. Okay. Well, that's it. It's very simple to navigate around. It's very simple to manipulate files. I just showed you some very simple things to do, how to navigate and get home. If you just ignored me and you just installed Debian and you have a GUI, you can do it on a GUI too, right? I mean, it's you do you. All right. In the next episode, we're gonna get a little scary though. I like to dive in and do things and then explain them and jump around. So the next thing we're going to be doing is doing a root account, but I will catch you all next time. All right, peace.